Mr. and Mrs. America and all the ships at sea. Um, we're about a little less than 3 weeks away from Son of Silvercon, and pretty much everything is in place. Um, I got to send the last check off to the hotel for the function space, but that's covered. The widget from Clover showed up, so we'll be able to take card payments from people that show up at the door. There are always people that show up at the door. The shirts are on their way, and basically all I have left to do at this point is print up the cards and mail them out to the attending members and some of the supporting members and the people that paid to attend, and well, stuff came up and they couldn't make it. So there's that. We got the schedule pretty much sorted. I sometimes have the feeling that much like the pastor who went out to minister to one of his rural congregations and wound up giving the whole 9 yards to the one farmer that showed up. But we've got enough to keep people busy, and we got some good panels, mostly thanks to Maggie Hogarth, who came up with a bunch of good ideas that people have jumped on, and so it ought to be good. And we got the Main Road show, which is always a lot of fun. And pre-registration, not as big as I had hoped, but a lot of that's due to the fact that this has pretty much been a one-man band. It's been me, Kayla Walsh, our staff artist, and some of our guests have chipped in and retweeted announcements and things like that. But I will be happy if we get a turnout comparable to Arcana in the old days. And Arcana, God bless it, was a convention that hit membership of 100 a couple of times in the years that I was there. And that was for big names like Gahan Wilson, and I believe Joe Bob Briggs also drew 100 people or so. I suspect if they were to do Arcana all over again with Joe Bob as a return guest of honor, we'd probably do a lot more than 100 people. But back then, he wasn't such a big deal as he is now. But to get back on track here, a lot of what we're doing this year is just laying the groundwork for next year, really. If we get a disappointing turnout next year, then I won't be happy about it, but I'll certainly do the back down and admit, hey, guys, you were right. There really isn't a sufficient base here for a regular fan-run science fiction convention. We'll just have to lump it. But I think with a little better publicity and a little better lead time, we can still draw a fair number of people from Reno, LA, San Diego, and Utah, St. George and Salt Lake City and all that. But, remains to be seen. We'll see how it goes next year, and hope for the best. So main ambition is for the people who show up this year to go home and tell their friends and neighbors and unindicted co-conspirators, hey, we had a pretty good time. They're going to do it in August next year. You want to come with me? And hopefully that'll pull the necessary people so that we can make this a going concern. And if not, well, it's not going to break my heart. I'm disappointed, of course, but there are worse things in life than being disappointed. What else is going on? Last week I went down to Las Vegas for the National Security Site Advisory Board meeting. We elected our chairman and the vice chair, and I did not have to quote Uncle Billy at the masses, for which I was grateful. We also settled on the stuff we're going to do for this coming year. Now that I've been on the board for about a year, a lot of what we do is trying to get the word out to the community about what we're doing. And what we're doing at the security site is environmental management and remediation. We're tearing down leftovers from the Cold War and disposing of the wreckage in an appropriate manner. Keeping an eye on the groundwater to make sure nothing is leaking into the local water table. And stuff like that. Way back in the 70s, there were some stories by a guy named Artisan Darnay, which was a pen name for a guy that I worked in the Interior Department, not that it matters. But he had a bunch of stories revolving around a cult or a priesthood or a religion, whatever you want to call it, of these guys who would seek out and sequester radioactive materials, of which there were quite a few, this being the aftermath of a nuclear holocaust. And sometimes, when I'm sitting in these meetings, I can't help flashing back to those. We don't have any loonies treating high-level waste as God bod, but the legacy of this stuff, of the work during the Cold War to produce nuclear weapons and nuclear power, a lot of the precautions that we're taking erring on the side of caution, partially because of the political pressure involved. People are very poor at evaluating risk, which is why we shut down a bunch of nuclear power plants. People got freaked out by the notion that there was this huge bomb in the neighborhood waiting to go off, when in fact the chances were a lot better that their car was for a lot of the same reasons. But, here we're not dealing so much with power plant waste, with the aftermath of the nuclear tests. And most of that stuff, it's been 50 years since the last test of the security site, so there really isn't that much waste to be dealt with. It's mostly low-level stuff, secondary contamination, that sort of thing. But there's a number of legal agreements in place between the feds and the state to clean this stuff up, and that's what we're doing. And the advisory board's job is to ask the kind of questions that your average citizen who doesn't know nuclear physics from X-lax wouldn't think of. Sometimes it's a little frustrating for me because coming from the background I do, I know more about this stuff than the average guy in the street. But then again, there's a lot of the stuff I don't know. I had no idea about. I keep needing to email Stephanie Osborne, who I met at Reminder this year, and ask her for some pointers on some good basic geology text because while I know a fair amount about radiation and the nasty consequences of getting the alpha and the beta into your body where it doesn't belong, and the other consequences of not being able to keep the gamma out, I'm not real well grounded on rock stuff. Whether it's better to stick the waste in a chamber down in the middle of some igneous rock or some sedimentary rock or whatever. So I gotta look into that. So yeah, that was the board meeting. The day after the board meeting, I went to wound care at the VA, and they were real happy about my legs. They're a lot better than they were. And I went into the hospital last month. When I was done there, I decided, well, I'll just head home instead of staying for another night in Vegas. I have a very expensive 2 weeks coming up in October, and I'm trying not to blow too much of my credit in advance of that. Anyway, that was the intention. The practice was that I checked out at the Strat. I got breakfast at the Elmwood House, as one does, and got up to the hospital. And they checked me out. The wound care clinic checked me out. So I was happy. Got some gases and fluids at Maverick, and stopped at Eagleville on the way out of town to go to the convention. Home. Well, the intention was to just kind of push straight through, and as it happened, by the time I got to Beatty, I was starting to nod off, which I thought was real strange. I mean, I'd gotten a good night's sleep before going to the care and all that. It was what it was. The internet was being cranky in Vegas, so instead of popping on Priceline, I just went to watch those things. And that was okay. I got a good night's sleep there, about 10 hours. And in the morning, I got some coffee, got some scone and Eddie's Road, headed on up the road. I was going to get a more substantial breakfast and stop by the Radio Museum in Goldfield, but they were both closed. So I said to hell with it. And that was that. Weekend went by much as it usually does. I was crack. About some of the weight I lost on the trip to Vegas, which was not good. I'm working on that. And yeah, today we had a Teams meeting for the Reno district, and they were talking about how we're going to have a new phone system where we're not going to be subjected to the constant ringing of phones off the hook in the office, which will be nice. Um, they're also going to experiment with some adaptive training, which hopefully will allow us to skip a lot of the repetitive crap we have to put up with every year in Skills to Win, which will probably be renamed something else this year, customer centric care or something. I don't know. I don't care. It's the same stuff every year. But apparently they're finally doing the smart thing and pre-testing us to see what we remember from last year. And after 15 years of doing this, I remember quite a bit. Thank you very much. So it'll be nice not to have to sit through online PowerPoint presentations about security and safeguarding customer information and stuff like that, which I could teach a course on in my sleep at this point. So, anyway, I've got two video appointments this week. One with my pharmacy clinician tomorrow, and one one with the lymphedema clinic. So the camera's going to be getting quite a workout this week. Um, and aside from that, and the obligatory runs to the post office and the bank and the usual business of living in Tonopah. It should be a quiet week before the roof falls in October, and I have to go down for a VA appointment on the 1st, a VA appointment on the 17th, a tour of the security site on the 18th, and of course, from the 13th to the 15th, which in practice means from the 12th through the 16th, I'll be doing the Son of Silvercon thing. For those of you that may be watching this and have not gotten around to buying a supporting membership or whatever, I will post the URL of the website, and you can go there and push the appropriate button. And that's it. Hope y'all are having a good week, and we'll see you next time.